Hey kids, how you doing? So this video is going to be going back to some opening theory. It seems like I've done nothing but play live games recently, and anyway, I've been playing the Smith-Morra Gambit a lot recently, and I think it is great, but I've not been enjoying it. It's felt to me like I've had my arse handed to me too many times in this opening, and I'm not quite sure why. So this is my entire history with the Smith-Morra on chess.com. So I've got over 500 games here. And it's all right, you know, if they accept that. So I'm getting 52%. Okay. But it feels like recently it's not been that hot. Now, 52% for white is not, like, fantastic. So either I need to study the Morra more, and that's probably the sensible way to do it, to be honest, because the Morra works. Like, my goal is to get to 2,000. Okay, I've never made any, qualms about that. I don't want to get to National Master or whatever. I'd love to get to 2,000, and to be honest, any opening repertoire will get you to 2. You can play dumbass openings and get to 2,000. I'm sure of it. In fact, we can kind of check that as well in a minute, because I'm going to suggest something that has a whiff of dumbass about it. Okay. So, Smith-Morra, I've been performing at, so what is it? After I take, 52% on average if the Smith-Morra accept it. Okay. If they decline the second pawn and push with d6, with d3 here, 53%. Or they can just decline with d6, or knight c6 here. And I'm only winning 41%. So, the sensible option, I could carry on. It's still a gambit, and it's still great, okay? But then I thought, well, let's have a look at my history, okay? So, by the way, so the other thing that you can do is from this position, for example, so this is the chess.com Explorer. So I want to look at my recent history because I play exclusively on chess.com, right? So you can do view all games from current position. And then it's going to go back to its database and it's going to show me. But what's nice about this is it's in time order. So I've got a shed load of Blitz games here because I've been playing a shed load of Blitz. And there's some Rapid as well. And you can see, I don't know if it lets me filter by date. Okay, so date, we'll just do literally just May. Okay, so just this month. Not many. 3 wins, 2 losses. Okay. So, as you could see from that list anyway, it wasn't spectacular. It was okay. So then I went over to openingtree.com and I put in this. So this is my history on chess.com, all-time history, with me as the white pieces, and I'm playing e4 and c5. And I thought, let's see. So it was a bit like Eurovision, I put it in and I let it go through like however many thousands of games, because I've got at least 1,500 from this position. So I've had 1,500 Sicilians. No, 2,228 Sicilians I've had. And to see what actually performs best. Because I had a hunch that I wanted to go back to an old, like you look back at an old girlfriend and like she was absolutely nuts, but we did have a good time. Kind of like that. Anyway, so here I've played mostly d4s, career-wise, and I'm look here. So completely 52.6%, like we just saw, okay, on chess.com. Knight f3, the open Sicilian, similar. Not quite as good. In fact, I'm slightly better than average, right? Knight c3 is the closed Sicilian going into the Grand Prix attack. Again, not bad. 54% there. And then we get to this bugger here. And again, I'm beating the odds. And it's 53-3. which is the wing gambit. Now the key thing about this is only played in 1 out of 100 games. And it's probably for a reason, because it's shite. Well, it's not, it's dubious. So, I don't know, I just thought I'd revisit it. So, here's the good thing, right? I've already got a study on the wing gambit. So, I've got in here, I've got 14 lines, 14 chapters. I'm not going to take you through all of those, but just for my benefit to refresh my own memory and maybe to help you, right? Like if you're looking for a weapon against the Sicilian and you're a crazy berserker player, okay, well, you know, humour me. Okay, so the Sicilian defence, e4, c5. Now, let's look at the most common continuations. Knight f3, open. Played 56% of the time. By the way, I've got this set to 1800, 2000 on Lichess. I might add 1600 in as well, because that's where I'm at now, right? So, yeah, knight f3, the open Sicilian, which will be followed by d4, takes, and shed loads of theory, okay? You got knight c3, the closed Sicilian, which could lead to the Grand Prix. You've got d4, the Smith-Morra Gambit. Now, on average, that's only performing at 49%. Interesting. You've got bishop c4. What's that called? The Bowdler attack. Interesting. I've never looked into that. And it doesn't do very well either, because black wins 51% of the time. Then you've got c3, which is the Alapin, isn't it? And that does okay at 50. You've got f4, which could also be a Grand Prix. And d3, boring. c4, that's like the Maroczy bind thingy, isn't it? Has that got a name? It must have. Staunton Cochrane variation. Well, go figure. Alright. And we are still diving down the bottom of the barrel. So what did we just look at then? What did we look at? It was c4, wasn't it? Okay, so c4 and then b4. Played 1% of the time. Okay, so out of 347 million games, 3.6 million. Okay, and guess what though? Guess what? Right, what's the best that white does in any of these lines? 50%. 50% for the Alapin. 50%, brothers and sisters, for b4. You can also play a3, which is kind of a delayed version, as we'll see. But we're doing 50% win rate for white, which is as good as any other response to the Sicilian at this level. So I defy you to tell me it's trash. Right? What was it Richard Feynman said? I don't care how smart you are or what elegant your theory is, if it doesn't meet with experiment, it's wrong. Something like that, right? So anyway, b4. This is the wing gambit. So what are we trying to do? Well, the whole point of what black is doing here is that they want to prevent us from playing d4 and occupying the whole centre. We get the whole centre, we control all of these squares, and we've staked a good claim on the board. So exactly what we're doing is we're trying to deflect this pawn away from the control of d4. Now, the most common moves here. C takes b4 is played 57% of the time. So that's what we're going to focus on, right? So C takes b4, and then you don't even occupy d4 straight away, right? So, Gambit fans, hold on to your hats. a3. And guess what they do? Again, 55% of the time. They take the second pawn, right? Now, here, most people recapture with a bishop. Bit like the, what's the gambit on this side where you play this and then try and capture that bishop there? I can't remember. But that's kind of dubious. It's playable, but dubious. Most people take with the bishop, and it's 48-48. Knight takes is slightly better. But what we're going to do, actually rook takes is also playable at 53. d4 also 53%. So I'm going here by real world results. I'm ignoring what Stockfish is saying, Not bothered about Stockfish, right? And now look at this. E6, top played move, 56% for white, and D5, 55% for white. Happy days. Okay, so let's go through the most common moves. E6, okay, now, it's just C3. We just defend this pawn here, and we block this thing in case that lady has ideas. And we're actually 2 pawns down. But don't worry about it, because we're going to be fine. Usually they'll play D5, and we play E5, and look at this. Can I get a hallelujah? 60% at least, whatever white does from here. Okay, black does from here. Apart from Queen A5, which is interesting. We're 2 pawns down. Stockfish has us as a minus 0.1 pawn. Right, so it slightly favours black, but real world results, we win 60% of games. And that is a reasonable sample, nearly 20,000 of them. Okay, so I think that's interesting. So, what you can do is you can go along to this study and you can click on the first one and you can go preview and you can play it through. And let's see if we can remember what to do. B4. Have another pawn. Please fill your boots. D4. Boom. And now it's just C3, isn't it? We are just building a King Kahuna center. Boom, boom, boom. Happy days. Right. Okay, we're going to the next chapter. Okay, so fully accepted D5. We're going to play it through. Look, wing Gambit. D5. What do we do? It's actually saying takes. Take. So I'm adding my notes, right? So we take, queen takes. So he's got a queen out on the board now. It can be harassed, but now we take the pawn. Knight takes pawn. And this is interesting. Why is it interesting? I guess this knight is going to cause trouble in the board. Because he can come here or here. Right, most common move, knight c6. And then, ooh, target the family fork. Beautiful. Yeah? Bang. And actually, we're just winning. We are just win. I'm going to already do that. White is winning here. Okay? Beautiful. Right? Are you not entertained? Right, let's look at a couple more. I'm going to try and do it in preview mode. Okay, I nearly just went Smith-Morra then, look. Okay, declined. Take. This is obvious. D4 with tempo on the bishop, right? Now here most people play C3 and C3 does very well. But we do this. This covers the F6 square. Okay, now, can you see a trap after bishop D3? Now, if you play against the French, and if you're a French player, you should notice this. Oh no, 2 pieces attacking there. Okay, but what's the problem? Right, we take it. They take it, and this bishop moves with check, and boom, bada, boom. So how do we do from here? White wins 64%. I'm going to add that to my note. White wins 64%. Okay, happy? So that's quite common. And the next one, the Greek gift line. Now this is something I want to practice anyway. So we go here. They've declined. And when they decline, we take this one, and then we play d4 with tempo. Okay. Then we play knight f3. We push on, stopping the knight from going there. Okay, and again. So the other thing about this bishop d3 move, excuse me, okay, it is 6:30 in the morning, is that we're also lining up the Greek gift sacrifice as well. Okay, so that's now blocked. If the knight should take here, we don't have a check anymore. Okay, so they are genuinely now attacking this twice with that guy and that guy. Look, I can't even point. So we have to play c3 now, which is a good move anyway. They haven't committed the king yet, so we're going to go castle. Once they castle, boom, the Greek gift is on. Okay, why is the Greek gift on? Because the knight is on the wrong square. The knight isn't here defending that. Okay, now there's a few more advanced concepts to how you can tell. Also, the queen's not guarding these, so I can come in here, check. Now, if the king goes anywhere other than this square, black loses by force. Okay, and we just go to here. Okay, we just drop back. Now, most people just push forward and actually go on to win anyway, but you can come over here. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, we take this, and when the knight comes in, that's it. See? You need to understand the moves as well. PP on the PP, put pressure on the pin piece. And we just play A4 here and we carry on. Okay, so there you go. There's the wing gambit. I have played it a bunch. And I've done quite well, you know. After E6, I've done quite well. And, you know, all of this, I think you can drill this. I think we could have some fun with it anyway. So, yeah, if you're looking for something completely offbeat to play against the Sicilian, give it a whirl. Let me know what you discover. But, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope I do. And we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you later.